You learn more about a woman from your absence than from your presence. When you're around, when you are texting, calling, checking in, showing interest, she doesn't have to think. She doesn't have to wonder. She doesn't have to question anything. Your attention makes her comfortable. Your effort keeps her confident. But the moment you step back, even slightly, her mind reacts in ways most men never get to see. Men believe women only feel something when they are being loved, chased, or chosen. That's not true. A woman feels the most when something she was used to suddenly disappears. Your silence, your distance, your absence. That space does something her pride will never admit, because your absence forces her to face a truth she could ignore before. You were not guaranteed. Before we go further, understand this. This video is not about games. It's not about manipulation, and it's not about pretending not to care. It's about self-respect. If you've ever felt like your effort slowly became invisible, if you've ever wondered whether you mattered more than she showed, this channel is for you. Like this video so it reaches men who need clarity, not false hope. Subscribe if you want female psychology explained without blame, without anger, and without chasing. And if this already feels uncomfortably accurate, comment, clarity. Not for me, but so you mark the moment you stop guessing. Now listen carefully. Sometimes your presence gets taken for granted. Sometimes your consistency becomes background noise. Sometimes the things you do lose value because she believes you will always be there. That's not cruelty. That's human nature. People stop appreciating what never goes away. But when you remove yourself, calmly, quietly, without drama, everything changes. She starts noticing what she ignored. She starts thinking about what she dismissed. She starts feeling things she didn't expect to feel. Even women who act strong, cold, or emotionally distant still feel it. A woman's reaction to your absence reveals her real feelings. If she truly cared, your silence bothers her. If she was only playing, she replaces you quickly. Either way, you learn the truth without saying a single word. Your absence tests her maturity, her loyalty, her respect. Because women don't chase men they don't care about. They don't worry about losing men they don't value. And they don't think about men they don't miss. When you stop chasing, stop texting first. Stop offering attention without effort in return. Her emotions start working. Confusion, curiosity, doubt. And it always begins with confusion. 1. Confusion. Why did he change? The first thing a woman feels in your absence is confusion, even if she acted like your presence didn't matter, even if she was distant, even if she didn't give you the same energy. She still noticed you. Women don't ignore effort. They hide how much they enjoy it. So when that effort suddenly stops, her mind reacts immediately. Why is he quiet? Did something happen? Is he upset with me? Did I do something wrong? Why isn't he texting? Women are emotional analyzers. They look for patterns. So when your behavior changes, she feels it. Maybe she expected you to always text first. Maybe she believed you would never step back. Maybe she assumed you would always be available. But the moment you stop chasing, the moment you remove your attention, she feels the shift. This confusion isn't just curiosity, it's insecurity. Because if she was used to you being there, your absence tells her something changed. Even if she pretends not to care, her mind starts running. Why? Because silence is louder than everything you ever said. Most men think women don't notice small changes. They do. They notice when you stop liking their posts, when your replies aren't instant, when you don't ask how their day was, when you stop showing concern. The change might feel small to you. To her, it feels big. And here's the part most men miss. If she didn't care at all, she wouldn't be confused. She would feel relief. Confusion means your presence mattered more than she admitted. She may not text you. She may not ask directly, but she watches. She checks if you viewed her story. She checks when you were last active. She checks if you're online but not replying. She checks if you posted anything. This confusion often turns into irritation. Why does he think he can pull back? Did he lose interest? Is there someone else? That irritation is emotional proof you mattered. Some women stay silent out of pride, waiting for you to return. Others break first and send a message. But either way, confusion is the first crack. It's the moment she realizes your presence was not guaranteed. And once a woman feels confused about losing you, your absence has already started working. After confusion settles, something quieter takes over. Curiosity, not the playful kind. the uncomfortable kind, the kind that doesn't let her relax. 2. Curiosity. What is he doing without me? When your presence fades, she starts paying attention in silence. She may not text you. She may not ask directly. But her mind starts searching for answers. Women need to know. They need to understand why the energy changed. And once she can't figure it out, she starts watching you more closely than ever before. Is he talking to someone else? Is he happier without me? Why does he look unbothered? Why didn't he fall apart? Even if she acted like you were just another guy, your absence challenges that belief. Women don't like uncertainty. They don't like feeling unable to predict someone. The moment she can't read you anymore, you become interesting again. Curiosity makes her notice things she ignored before. She looks at your social media activity. She notices who likes your pictures. She pays attention to who you follow. She checks if you view her stories. She watches how often you're online. And here's the important part. She does all of this quietly. She won't admit it. She won't ask you. She won't show it. But every move you make suddenly matters. If you look focused, calm, or busy, curiosity grows stronger. If you're improving your life, working out, building something, socializing, or simply living well, curiosity turns into tension. Why does he look better now? Why does he seem happier without me? Why didn't he chase? Because here's the truth most men never hear. Women expect men to chase. They expect men to fall apart when attention is removed. They expect men to return. But when you don't, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability pulls her attention harder than effort ever did. Curiosity also brings comparison. She starts comparing herself to other women around you. She wonders if they're prettier, kinder, more feminine, more appreciative. She wonders if someone else sees your value more clearly than she did. Even if she wasn't fully committed to you, she still enjoyed the attention. She liked knowing you wanted her. When that disappears, she needs to know why. Some women test the situation. They post certain pictures, use certain captions, share stories meant to trigger a reaction. Not because they're moving on, but because they want to see if you still care. If you give no reaction, curiosity grows heavier, and that's when curiosity starts turning into something deeper. 3. Doubt. Did I make a mistake? Once confusion and curiosity settle, doubt begins to grow. This is the moment she stops questioning you and starts questioning herself. When you were present, consistent, and available, she felt secure. She believed she had time. She believed your attention was permanent. Your absence breaks that illusion. Now she isn't asking what you did wrong. She's asking what she did wrong. Her mind starts replaying conversations. She replays the last messages, the moments she didn't respond, the times she didn't try, the effort she didn't return. She remembers the energy you brought that isn't there anymore. And suddenly she notices something she ignored before. You were not a burden. You were an asset. A woman only questions herself when she feels the loss of a good man. If you didn't matter, she wouldn't doubt anything. She would simply move on. Doubt means value. Thoughts start creeping in. Was I too cold? Did I push him away? Why did he stop trying? Did I misjudge him? Was he actually better than I thought? And here's the powerful part. Doubt grows in silence. The longer you stay gone, the louder her thoughts become. At first, she blamed you. Now her mind turns inward. She starts comparing you to other men. Maybe other guys are inconsistent. Maybe they don't listen. Maybe they don't show up the way you did. Maybe they only want something temporary. And suddenly, every flaw those men have makes you look better. Not because you changed, because she finally sees clearly. Doubt also brings fear. Fear of losing something real. Fear of being replaced. Fear of realizing too late that there is no second chance. She starts feeling uncomfortable with her own decisions. She questions her silence, her pride, her assumptions. The man she thought would always stay now looks like a man who can leave, and that scares her. Women don't like losing men who could have been solid partners. They don't like watching another woman benefit from effort they ignored. They don't like realizing they let something valuable slip away. Doubt is the turning point. It's where she stops taking you lightly. It's where you move from someone who liked her to someone she may need back. And once doubt settles in, another emotion follows closely behind. One she rarely admits: jealousy. Once doubt settles in, another emotion surfaces. Quiet, uncomfortable, hard to admit. Jealousy. For jealousy, who has his attention now? When you were consistent, she didn't feel threatened. She believed your attention was secure, locked in, predictable. Your absence breaks that certainty. Now her mind starts asking questions she never cared about before. Is he talking to someone else? Is another woman giving him what I didn't? Does someone else have his focus now? Was he always this confident? Women are extremely sensitive to the idea of being replaced, even if she acted uninterested, even if she kept emotional distance. She still liked knowing she had your attention. Your absence threatens that security. Jealousy doesn't always show up loudly. It's subtle, internal, private. She looks harder at who comments on your posts. She notices new names, new energy, new reactions. She watches how you carry yourself. She checks if you seem calmer, more focused, happier. Even a simple picture of you out with friends can trigger it, not because of what she sees, but because of what she doesn't know. Women don't like uncertainty. They don't like losing control. And jealousy is the emotional alarm. He might be moving on. What most men don't understand is this. Jealousy is often the first sign of emotional attachment. If she didn't care, she wouldn't check. She wouldn't compare. She wouldn't imagine. The fact that she wonders is proof your value increased the moment you became unavailable. If she sees you improving your life, jealousy grows stronger. Other women noticing you becomes a threat, not because you belong to her, but because she doesn't want someone else receiving what she ignored. Sometimes jealousy pushes her to compete in silence. She posts better pictures. She tries to look happier, more confident, more desirable, not to move on, but to see if you react. Women want to know they still matter. If you stay unbothered, jealousy becomes uncomfortable, because now she faces a possibility she never considered. You might not be coming back. And when jealousy sits long enough, it transforms into something heavier. 5. Regret. I should have treated him differently. Regret arrives when silence starts feeling permanent. At first, she thought your distance was temporary. Then she assumed you were busy. Then she believed you would return, because most men do. But when time passes and you remain calm, focused, and gone, reality sets in. This is when she starts replaying moments. The times she dismissed you, ignored you, took your effort lightly. She remembers when you cared and she didn't respond. When you showed interest and she gave nothing back. Every small decision feels heavier now, because there's no reassurance you're still there. Regret sounds like this. I should have appreciated him more. He actually tried with me. He wasn't like other men. Why did I treat him that way? A woman doesn't regret losing a man who gave nothing. She regrets losing a man who gave more than she expected and then walked away with dignity. Your absence makes one thing clear. You weren't giving attention because you needed her. You were giving it because you cared. And now that it's gone, the truth hits. Your loyalty wasn't automatic. Your presence wasn't permanent. Regret also changes how she sees other men. Suddenly, they feel inconsistent, unreliable, surface level. They don't listen the way you did. They don't show up the way you did. She starts comparing without meaning to, and every comparison brings you back into her thoughts. If she sees other women noticing you, regret deepens, not because you belong to her, but because she realizes you could belong to someone who values you more. This is when she starts thinking about reaching out. A simple message, an emoji, a memory, a random question. Nothing is accidental. It's her way of checking if the door is still open. But here's the key. Regret only exists because you created space. You didn't argue. You didn't beg. You didn't explain yourself. You stepped back, and silence did what words never could. A woman starts regretting a man when she realizes the effort she ignored is no longer available. When she realizes the attention she had is now elsewhere. When she realizes the man she assumed would stay is capable of leaving. And once regret settles in, it creates an emptiness she can't ignore. 6. Missing you. Why does it feel empty? Missing you doesn't arrive instantly. It builds, slowly, quietly. She starts noticing moments where you would have been there. She checks her phone at times you used to talk. She feels the absence of your consistency. Women don't miss a man's presence first. They miss the comfort of that presence, the steadiness, the reassurance, the way you showed up. Nobody checks on her the same way. Nobody listens the same way. Nobody feels as familiar. Your calm departure makes it stronger. You didn't leave with anger. You didn't create chaos. You let silence speak, and that silence stays with her. Once missing, you settles in. The final shift happens. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. She wants you back. 7. Wanting you back. Is the door still open? After confusion, curiosity, doubt, jealousy, regret, and missing you, she reaches the last stage. Desire. Not surface-level desire, not attention-seeking desire, the desire to reconnect. She may never say it directly, but the feeling becomes impossible to ignore. Your absence didn't just make her think, it made her feel. Now she starts wondering about something she never cared about before. Could I get him back if I tried? Would he still want me? Did I wait too long? Is the door still open? This is where pride begins to lose its grip. The silence she once brushed off now feels heavy. The distance that felt comfortable now feels cold. And the man she assumed would always be there no longer feels guaranteed. She starts imagining life with you again, not because she's bored, not because she needs attention, but because she finally understands what you brought into her life. You were steady. You were consistent. You were present. You actually cared. Those qualities don't fully register when they're always available. They become clear when they're gone. Now she starts reaching out indirectly, liking old pictures, watching every story, replying to something random, sending a message that doesn't really need to be sent. Nothing is accidental. It's her way of testing the space between you. If you respond warmly, she leans in. If you respond coldly, she panics, because now she's no longer in control. She also starts adjusting her behavior. She becomes softer, more respectful, more patient, not because she changed overnight, but because she doesn't want to lose you twice. This is where many men make their biggest mistake. They rush back in. They flood her with attention. They overvalue her interest. They forget why their absence worked in the first place. A grounded man doesn't do that. He doesn't punish her. He doesn't chase her. He doesn't beg for reassurance. He stays calm. If she truly wants him back, her effort becomes clear. Not hints, not crumbs, not curiosity. Real effort, real consistency, real communication. And if she doesn't offer that, then she didn't miss you. She missed the attention. Your absence revealed her emotions. Her actions reveal her intentions. What your absence really does. Your absence is not a tactic. It's a mirror. It shows her what she felt when you were gone. It shows you what she does when she feels that loss. Some women step up with maturity. Others disappear. Both outcomes are information. A woman who truly values you doesn't just feel your absence. She respects it. She doesn't rush you. She doesn't play games. She doesn't test your boundaries. She shows effort. A woman who only valued the attention reacts differently. She reaches out lightly. She avoids responsibility. She wants reassurance without commitment. Your job is not to convince her. Your job is to observe, because your absence already did the work. The final truth. A woman feels the truth of a man more in his absence than in his presence. Your silence shows your strength. Your distance shows your standards. Your absence forces her to see what she ignored. If she truly valued you, she will feel it deeply. If she never did, she will move on easily. Either way, you gain clarity. A man who can walk away without anger, without begging, without resentment, becomes unforgettable, not because he disappeared, but because he respected himself enough to leave. Before you leave, understand this. Your value is not proven by how much you give, it's revealed by what happens when you stop. You don't need to chase clarity, you don't need to explain your absence, and you don't need to stay where effort isn't respected. If this video gave you language for something you already felt but couldn't explain, like the video so it reaches men who are still blaming themselves instead of understanding the dynamic. Subscribe if you want female psychology explained calmly, honestly, and without manipulation, so you stop guessing and start seeing situations clearly. And if this message hit close to home, comment respect, not for engagement, but to mark the moment you chose self-respect over chasing. If you want to go deeper, watch the next video on your screen. It breaks down what happens when a woman feels your absence but still doesn't reach out, and what that actually means. Stay grounded, stay observant, and never forget, the man who can walk away peacefully is the